Another one.
All right, next question. It's these days. I have 15 years of experience with test automation and script management. Yet, all the positions I see for QA lead and even just QA engineer positions either get filled immediately or they just never respond. Is anybody else experiencing the same thing? Well. Great that you ask. I see a lot of companies hiring for QA. The problem there's from the problems that I've seen, like a lot of people who send me their resumes is a lot of times the resumes are not updated properly. They're super technical. They don't show what value you bring. It just shows that you know what to do. Like, it shows that you know how to do what everyone else in who's a QA engineer knows how to do. The only difference that you might have is that you've been doing it longer than the next person. But you know, that doesn't say much, because if you've been doing it for that long, right, I would want to see I would want to see your accomplishments on your resume, right? I'd want to see some cool things that you did, some major bug that you caught, some major bugs, some cost saving initiatives, how you work within the team, like just different dynamics instead of just saying the same old that every other resume does. Because the one that I'm going to look at is the one that is pretty intriguing. Now the question is anybody hiring? Like I said, I see tons of places hiring. But another problem that happens is with the rise of remote work, you have thousands of people applying for the same job. Generally, there's not that many QA engineers on a team. There might be about 3 to 4 devs to one QA engineer. And so it's like they only need like one position filled, and we have these thousands and thousands of people who are hiring for it, right? So what do? What I always like, I'll tell you this: I do not prefer to work in the office, but if I had to, I certainly would, right? I built this nice office here. I get to work from here, and everything it's cozy. My kitchen is like 5 steps away, so what I'm saying is, but you have to do what you have to do, especially if you're trying to find a new job or if you're trying to enter the market. You can't like if they tell you that you're going to enter, like you're going to learn how to do QA, and as a manual tester you're going to end up getting a remote job within like 2 months. That is not true. All right, what happens is you have to like, especially based on the market that you're in, right? So you have to navigate wisely. Let me see, what else did this? Oh, I didn't put my timer. Oh my God, this thing is such a mess. We'll start it now. All right. So what else? So yeah, all the positions that you see for QA lead or even just QA either get filled immediately or just never respond. So yeah, like I said, it might be a resume that is not up to speed, and you might need some work on your resume. Especially if it's like one of those traditional QA resumes, and especially like for a lot of times companies look from within. Like they might have to post a job externally, but they look for within for like when moving up people up the ladder. And then if they just can't find somebody within the company, then they'll look outwards. But I'll tell you this: somebody that I know personally, he was laid off not too long ago, and by not too long ago I mean like a week or two ago, and now he has a bunch of interviews lined up already, right? I don't know how he was able to get that, but I'll tell you this: when I was looking at the beginning of the year, once like I really started looking in deep in January, and I started I applied for a lot, but I started getting some traction, and that worked out very well. But it depends on it depends on, again, your resume. What are you doing to level up? What are your skills? Because you might be in automation, but what are your skills? All right. So always getting your skills up to speed, and yeah. So that's the situation that we find ourselves in. Nothing's going to be given to you. You have to You have to show the value, like in everything that you do. I can't stress this enough. In everything that you do, you have to show the value that you bring. As you add value, then it'll be reciprocated to you, right? Look to add value first. And once you add value, and that's a big thing for me, right? I'm always looking to add value in every person that I come in contact with. To all the subscribers, I want to add value into your lives. To the people that I work with one-on-one, I want to add value into your lives. And like when I review resumes, right? My goal is this resume review that I'm doing, it's to add value into the person's life. And that value is to try to help them get to the next level of their career. If they're trying to transition, help them transition. All of that, right? So companies are hiring. It's a bit tougher because with the demand of people wanting to work remote jobs and with the amount of people applying for it, one question I would ask is, are you applying locally? All right. It just depends. And Tyru says, is this field more recession really AI proof than software engineering? I would say, and when you say field, I guess you're referring to the QA field, right? I would say I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say I don't think it is. All right. In a way it is. In a way it's not. Right. It just depends on the company structure, because on a team, if you have like 4 or 5 developers and you have one QA, it'll be really tough to just get rid of that QA and keep the 4 or 5 developers, or just getting like, even if you get rid of a QA, or you get rid of a developer, you still have like 3 to 4 left, versus if you get rid of a QA, you have none. Now, can you try to transition a developer to QA? It's possible, but it's most likely going to be a disaster, because a lot of developers they don't have that QA background, that QA training. So, but in the grand scheme of things, they're most likely to choose. They're like, I would say that the QA field is not more recession proof than the software engineering. Now, if you're referring to AI for QA, I'm not, from like when I did the live stream on the concepts, I wasn't really too impressed by the type of AI that it was creating. And what I mentioned about AI not too long ago is that if you're not well versed in what you're putting into the AI, then you're not going to get the right information out. Right? So it can give you tons of information, but it's how do you apply that information that AI is giving to you? AI is just a tool, but if we don't know how to use that tool properly, then it's really going to mess us up. AI is not going to be finding defects for you and stuff like that. That it might help you like writing your defect reports, what to test and stuff like that. But as far as AI replacing QA, I don't think that's going to happen, right? So so that's how I see that one. All right. So let me end that. And shout out to you, Tyru, for that amazing question.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos. Enigmatic Joker.